In the heart of Middle-earth, beyond the plains that stretched beneath the stars and the bleak ridges that held their shadows at bay, lay the ancient town of Osterdale. This town, once renowned for its bounty of treasures and rich history, had now fallen into shabby disrepair. Once, its walls had been a trove of tales and wisdom, but those days had long since dwindled into memory. Osterdale's downfall started with an ominous figure named Grindock, a meddlesome sorcerer who had a knack for booby trap spells and dark enchantments. Despite his quarters being littered with a heap of ancient scrolls and mystical artifacts, his greed for power and influence over the town grew like a lump in one's throat when dread approached. His sigil, an ember etched into a cloak of shadow, became a foreboding symbol that haunted the townsfolk. The people of Osterdale, once valiant and proud, started to dwell on their bleak circumstances. Amidst them was a watchwarden named Eladrin. Eladrin was bred from warriors, with a nimble frame and keen eyes that could pierce the night like an arrow. His demeanor, though often solemn, was determined. One fortnight, he overheard Grindock muttered incantations upon Balfin Rock, an ominous landmark overlooking the town. Eladrin couldn't shake the foreboding feeling that the sorcerer was up to something perilous. He decided to linger near Grindock's lair, camouflaging himself behind boulders and patting out the small fire he had started to quench his thirst in the cold night. Within Grindock's chamber, the sorcerer invoked a spell that would render the ubiquitous power of shadows upon the town. Satisfied with his machinations, Grindock began his descent from Balfin Rock, leaving Eladrin with a rare chance. Back in Osterdale, a young and boisterous blacksmith named Bram had started to notice the ever-shabby condition of the once-thriving marketplace. The townsfolk seemed more stranded in their despair, and the scent of fear was laden in the air. Bram decided to convene with Eladrin, convinced they needed to free their town from the clutches of the dark sorcerer. The watchwarden and the blacksmith decided that the best place to gather allies would be at the Old Ilfin Inn, a dimly lit yet welcoming place known for its tales and hearty ale. They found the porter Garrick, who despite his years, showed unparalleled vigor. Together, they defrayed the costs of supplies and gathered their valiant friends. Over the next 2 weeks, secret meetings filled the night. The townsfolk, initially reluctant, were inspired by Eladrin's unwavering determination and Bram's boisterous spirit. Plans were laid to confront Grindock and dislodge his grip over Osterdale. On the day of reckoning, the townsfolk assembled under the half-moon. Eladrin's squad climbed Balfin Rock's ridge, guided by the light of keen-eyed sparrows that seemed to have an unnatural awareness of their mission. Grindock's lair was heavily guarded, but Eladrin's crew skillfully maneuvered through the booby traps set by the sorcerer. They reached Grindock's chamber, and there they saw him at the pinnacle of his dark ritual. Amidst the incantations and the growing shadows, Eladrin charged at Grindock with a knack only a bred warrior had. While Eladrin engaged in a frantic duel, Bram and Garrick worked to destroy the dark artifacts that gave the sorcerer his power. Chaos erupted as Grindock's forces engaged the infiltrators. Every twist and turn was packed with energetic skirmishes. In the midst of the fight, Garrick was wounded and strode away to regain his strength. Bram continued to scuttle around, attempting to dislodge a key stone that seemed to be the heart of Grindock's enchantments. Eladrin's deliberate strikes forced Grindock to defend squarely, revealing his vulnerabilities. Finally, Eladrin managed to land a crucial blow, causing Grindock to topple down, a signal for the townsfolk to initiate the final assault. Bram struck the key stone with his hammer, triggering a burst of light that shattered Grindock's magical hold over the town. As the shadows dissolved, the crinkled atmosphere lifted, and Osterdale saw the dawn of new hope. The defeat of Grindock wasn't just a tale of vanquishing a dark sorcerer. It echoed through the corridors of history as the moment when a shabby town rose to reclaim its bounty. Osterdale once again became a place of stories and growth, its people forever remembering the valiant deeds that had been etched into their lives. Eladrin continued to serve as the watchwarden, though now his demeanor was filled with a vibrant purpose rather than solemn duty. Bram's forge became a symbol of resilience, and Garrick, even with his incapacity, held the respected role of wiseman. Together, They ensured that the spirit of Osterdale would never again be reduced to lump or shabby neglect. They had found in their hearts the ubiquitous strength needed to quench the darkness. And so, the tale of Osterdale became immortal in the books of Middle-earth, a reminder that even in the bleakest of times, courage and unity could conquer all.